I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have 3 items on the agenda today. It's year-end encumbrances, budget transfers, and year-end carryovers. Got it. All right. And let's start with the purchase of AR rifles.
So Rachel had proposed to the board at one of the most recent Board of Selectmen meeting that she would like to purchase some AR rifles, and she wanted to encumber it out of this year's budget into next year. She did get a quote, and that is the forthcoming.
Okay, perfect. And I know that she only lets people who are trained on them to use them. So one of the department gets special training. So good. Year-end budget transfers by function. So we have transfer from public safety to general government.
So back in the middle of the year, the police chief had come in and asked for the board's permission to hire a cleaning company to clean.
Right.
We had done a budget transfer at that point from the cleaning budget, the buildings budget, into her public safety budget. And this is just moving it back. It really should have stayed where it was.
Okay. So it was taken out of general government, put in public safety,
Yeah.
and now it's being put back. Okay. Highway and streets and sanitation.
So we still have one more bill to come in for solid waste. We don't know what the amount is going to be, so it is most probably going to put sanitation over budget. So this, I took last year's, which was December 2023 invoice, and just calculated it based on that. Figuring there's more solid waste going out in December, so it's kind of high. So I figure it may go $12,000 over budget.
Right.
So this is just to move the under budget amount from highways into solid waste.
Excellent. Good.
So, can I ask a question?
Please.
So, you said 4,000 just the other day,
Yep.
and you think it's about 3 times that?
Yeah, looking at December, right, doesn't it kind of make sense? When I looked at last year's, you can see it's like 4,000, 8,000, it starts going up in the fall, and then when I got to December, it was 12,000.
And he didn't want to take it out of the
No,
transfer station fund? What's the balance in the transfer station?
he did say he had other things that he needed to do with that fund. Nearly 60,000, 58,500 is the balance in that.
And we're gonna raise the fees.
Yeah, but it needs to cover next year's increase on the amount coming out. You know, with that
Well, it is,
contract is.
a big bulk of it is
So,
just stuff that he builds stuff pretty regularly out of that and spreads it around, so why don't we just do that? I don't know why.
so he separates it out. He's got different containers that
Yeah.
some goes to the transfer station, so that will still go to the transfer station account. There will still be money coming out there for December. This is just all that commingled stuff.
So what's the difference between sanitation and transfer station?
So I'd have to look up the warrant article to see why that separate fund was set up and what
Okay.
exactly it's in there to pay for.
Right.
I know from that amount that he does purchase when he, depends on the truck or the piece of equipment, some of it does come out of there.
But I guess the key item would be that sanitation is not the revolving fund and preserving the revolving fund amounts. And the fees are up for next year, therefore we need to keep that healthy.
Right.
Is
Yeah,
that your
yeah,
argument?
it is because, yeah, the
Okay.
fees are going to go up,
Yep.
on the amount that we pay.
Oh, that's
So
what you're saying.
Comingo,
Yep.
the Comingo disposal, that comes out of transfer station.
Right,
So when he ever gets a bill that says Comingo, that's what it is.
okay. So I see the logic of taking the other fund.
Yeah, because he's just gonna pull it out of his highway budget, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to cover it.
Is there a particular line that he's targeting, or what? I mean, in November, it was 134,000 in the budget.
He doesn't, so when I do the budget transfer in the system, I need to figure out what account he's from out of. So that'll be like one of the last things I do after we're finished in 2 weeks paying all the bills. Then I'll look and see which one has the most under budget, and I'll apply it that way, the largest amount. I'm sure
It's
there's.
gonna be in his material line, or it's gasoline line, or diesel line. His material line has it in, remember, it's 56,000, so. Not budgeted there.
Yeah, so it will work.
We've been very fortunate this December that we've had rain versus snow.
Yeah.
And we may get toned in next 2 months, I don't know. It's good to. This cushion. All right, are we done with budget transfers by function? Yes. Okay. Year-end carryovers, PE donation, and what's a year-end carryover versus a encumbrance?
So encumbrance is expenditure and carryover is revenue.
Got
Um,
it. Thank you.
A couple of years ago, the state had given highways extra money.
Yep.
I don't remember if it was because they had extra meals and rooms and they tried to, they had money left over in their budget. They tried to disseminate it to towns for different various projects. And so one was the additional highway block grant. So he's kind of got that on the side.
And I think he's saving that whole project for curbing by the common.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good.
But that wasn't in last year's budget, is that true?
Yeah, it's
Block
not
grant.
much.
I think we carried forward last year too.
Yep, we did.
We're good.
I remember him getting the extra money.
So when he does decide to do that project, when he's got everything ready and the guys are ready to do it, then he'll have that expenditure, and then we'll put this as offsetting revenue at the bottom of the spreadsheets.
Okay. Questions?
What did we do for welfare? Welfare was gonna come way in over budget.
So, I remember at one of the Board of Selectmen's meetings, Roberta was saying maybe we should wait to see how the budget does in total. And then if we don't go over budget, we don't need that extra money from those,
The emergency funds.
yeah, that we'll just leave it there and let it earn interest until it is an emergency, we need it.
Which account is gonna have to select the welfare?
All of that.
So
So,
shouldn't we need to transfer over to welfare?
so welfare is under, I think that's just under general government.
Okay, so it's staying within that.
Yeah, it's staying within that function.
Okay, then we have the funds in general.
Yeah.
Trying to find her number.
Okay.
She was over already, I thought, wasn't she?
Yeah,
And, do you know if, we're looking like we're gonna be over this coming year? Do we still have the same issue that is driving it in the negative?
Welfare.
Welfare, you know,
The rental of service.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit busy,
it's what?
been a little bit busy.
Yes, I know that, but I think it was more one specific case that has been budget on that. And it doesn't look like it's been resolved, so, we might anticipate this year too, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because she's what, 20,000, this November's report showed her 20,000 over.
Yeah,
And the proposed budget has a pretty significant increase, like Bob said, be doing something somewhere else. Anyway, we are gonna come in quite a bit over budget, or under budget,
where,
in the operating budget from,
oh,
I don't know, there's an obligation there or what.
well, we have a legal obligation on the welfare. Right.
Do we cover some of that money and move forward? I don't know.
I don't know if we can encumber it because we don't have a bill. So that comes in monthly and it could end tomorrow. So
Nonetheless, it's a legal obligation, is it not?
it's a legal obligation if we have a bill. It's a legal obligation if we have a liability, but it's only, we can only encumber it if we have a bill. No, I agree with you. I thought of that too. So, thank you. So I guess we let that,
Yeah.
okay. So you'll find a department that has excess that will take it out. Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
So actually, with that, I don't do anything with it. It's just gonna show that it's over budget.
Right.
Just collectively.
And it might be good to show it's over budget, because then we can do our
Yeah,
budget.
exactly.
Okay.
So, we have money left over in 2022, block grant,
Yeah,
that's just being carried forward. I imagine that's for paving, et cetera.
so, yeah, that's what the state gives it to us for, and part of that paving is to put, what did you call that block?
Curbing.
Curbing.
Yeah. That's what Mike's gonna use it for.
So basically it's buying grant curbing. Granite curbing.
It kind of came in as a surprise, I think. If I remember right. Towards the end of the
Yeah.
year, it was like, all of
Exactly.
a sudden, we got it.
Yeah, we couldn't do anything with it.
Correct.
In time.
All right, is there anything else?
Yeah, it looks like the total that we have in excess for 2024 is 150,971. Is that correct?
So that's just carrying forward some of the costs that the departments had, like Mike's money for curbing for the PD. Rachel had said recently she had some donations. She hasn't had time to spend them, and so she wants to carry that money over into next year to be able to spend.
That's just the 657.
Yeah.
Yeah, so money left over in the budget, is that what you mean?
Correct.
So when I did the calculation, trying to estimate out, the bills that I knew that were coming in, and the payroll that needed to be paid out in the next week and 2/3, I think it was, yes. I figured that there was about 200,000 left over.
Okay. It's separate from this, this
It's
is revenues.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Just
just-
even carry over.
Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of invoices I've been saying for the last 2 months. Please contact your vendors to make sure that anything you order, you get the invoice before December 31st.
Yep.
Say that every year, but there's still a lot of invoices that come in.
Casey, did you buy those formats that we talked about
Yes.
and have that been paid off for this year?
You
We just got the invoice and it should be going out this, and
invoice should be going into this check run. Making sure you got yours.
So it's this year's money?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, just want to make sure it's not being encumbered. So,
and
okay.
I did update the ARPA spreadsheet there with that, cost. And Mike had recoded the sinks and toilets, and that came in a little bit under what you guys approved, so it looks like we're gonna be giving back $3,682.
It's pretty good out of 5 million or so.
I know Rick did ask, last week, I think after we met, if there was any, or after that meeting with the SCBA, if there was any money left, he would like to use it, to purchase, I think it was a $700, in case he may be able to help me out, but I think it was a $700 maybe Chromebook or something for the,
Yes. There's been a lot in the command vehicle for some time. It had been a tough book. It was not a tough book, much more expensive. He's looking to replace that with just a regular Lenovo computer, nothing fancy, nothing tough. And when it dies in 2 years, it dies in 2 years, it dies in 3 years. But he doesn't want to put it onto, or say, the full package plan of replacement. It's an extra in the command vehicle.
so I said we were cutting it close, but we were meeting today, so if you don't want to use ARPA money to pay for that, you can just take that.
Do you have the bill?
I personally have not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he has.
If he has a bill in the bill, we can cover it, or pay it, or whatever. So I think it's a good idea. I have a 1 terabyte Lenovo computer I got for $550.
If you don't mind, I'll ask him.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's just gonna do that.
This still leaves, so still talking 200,000 left over at the end of the year.
Yep.
We still have the problem with next year's legal budget.
Yes.
How can we use some of that 200,000, probably to have a bit to go forward for our legal budget next year?
Can we do him on retainer?
That's what I talked to Lori about this morning. If we can get his, did you ever contact him, or you've talked to Gary?
Not since,
Okay,
You haven't talked to
so,
that.
I have not talked to that. I know.
so if we could get a quote for a retainer, we could encumber that, and we get the money back if it's not used, so that, we have it funded for him and not for,
Yeah.
adding to the legal budget.
Yeah, I will reach out to Gary. If it's not, can we do it by tomorrow, or like if I get something in writing from him by tomorrow's the last day, right?
31st, yeah. So if you guys, maybe guys wanted to do another meeting and just prove that.
We could approve it now, assuming we can get a retainer for $25,000 aside for him. That would cover this cost, and it would also give us the money back for legal. Of course, if we do a retainer, well, no, we'll classify it as legal. So it'll be added to the legal budget.
It'll be an adjustment. Yeah.
It'll be an adjustment, and then we have a bigger cushion for legal, because that's been going up. So,
I suppose we could vote to, encumber the 25,000 pending the retainer receipt, note, whatever it is, to say,
Yep.
this is what I'll need for a retainer.
right.
Does that make
And
sense?
if he says he needs more for a retainer, then I don't know.
Well, do you want to increase it?
I think 25 should be sufficient. I don't know. What do you think?
I'd like to pencil in more money than that.
Okay. I accede to your judgment. So, what do you think?
I'd go at least 50, at least.
I think, I don't know, a lawyer would turn down $50,000 retainer.
I don't know what it will cost.
Not a lot.
It's still tentative at this point. It might go quick, it might drag out. I mean,
Good.
at least puts our foot on the ground.
It,
At this point, we're not even being called to court.
Yeah.
right. And it may not be needed for this case, but certainly will be needed since our budget is through the roof right now. Legal, it's hitting 25,000 now just this year. And,
There's other stuff out there.
there's other stuff out there. And we will we will reserve that money if it's not used, but it'll be needed for, continuing the case.
Could we, it's kind of an off, we can't reach Matt directly. Could we have Gary invoices for retainer to be directed to that?
And we could, possibly, you'd have to talk to Gary.
If you can even reach him? Yeah, either one, I think solves the same question. We need this paper. Say, I require this for retainer for this case.
Yeah, I think we need to make that call, and I'll make the call, or you can make the call in the next half hour. So I think once this is done, we're done with this meeting. And Matt and Gary, they both be here today. So I don't know if they're gonna be here all day or, just a portion of it. So, yep.
Call
Best to
them.
come directly from that.
All right, I'll call, right after this and then follow up with an email.
Yep.
Yeah.
And thank you for, making, 50, I think, it's safe. And it'll go back.
It would be nice if we don't let it go on the court and don't need it, but even for consultation or something.
Absolutely.
$300 an hour as a quick. Whatever that number is, I'm just picking a number. I don't know what his charge is, but.
It's $1,000 every 3 hours.
For most of the
30 hours, it's $10,000. Yep. And going to court, drive there. That's paid for too.
So do you want to make a motion, Bob?
I'll make, well,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I'll make the motion to encumber $50,000 for the anticipated CBA court case.
To be added to legal.
To be added to legal notices pending getting the retainer figure.
Yes. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
I attempted to reach record, no response.
I'm sorry,
I attempted to reach record, no response.
for what?
The computer question.
Oh, Rick, gotcha. I thought you said rec.
Oh.
Going,
Who seconded that? I'm sorry.
I did. Okay, any other business? Come before the board, all right? Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, 12:30.
Yep. 12:28. Thank you. I'll join you. Okay.
Thanks, Laurie.
Oh, Lori. Lori.
Yep, and I need to,
Lori.